Hi guys!
It's us again.
Yep, the sisters, the Paris sisters, back to talk to you more about real estate. We're happy to be here. I hope everybody had a great Memorial Day weekend.
We did.
We did. We had a barbecue at Claire's house last night. It was lovely.
It was lovely.
So we are here today to talk to you about what title is and what an escrow company is, because we work with them regularly and they're always involved in our transactions. So I'll let Claire start it off and kind of chat about what she's going to do, and then I'll finish it up.
So you know me, I like to look at stuff from a historical perspective. So title and escrow are used interchangeably.
Yes.
And we often don't know, what. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I'm not sure what the difference is exactly between the two, because we work in concert with them all the time.
Yes.
And FYI, for all of you that are new from the East Coast, very different. There is no title on the East Coast.
They use lawyers.
Yeah. So
we don't use lawyers. We use title and escrow companies.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's a big caveat, because I have plenty of clients that are like, what are you talking about? Why am I not meeting my lawyer?
And in fact, a lot of East Coast clients that I've worked with, I've told them about title and escrow companies, and they still want to use a lawyer because they're so accustomed to it, which is totally fine.
Totally fine. Yeah. Title and escrow pretty much makes sure that the loans on the property are only the ones you put on it.
They're a third party, a third neutral party involved in the transaction.
Yep. They're the ones that you give your earnest money to. They're the ones where you go to sign on the paperwork for the bank for the loan. They're the ones that record the new deed in your name.
Yep. And they ensure that the property is free and clear upon transition of deed.
Yep.
Do you want to talk about Andy's property, our
yeah,
brother?
So our littlest brother. So people are always like, this title and escrow is pointless. BS. I got to pay a lot of money for nothing. I'm never going to use this.
It's not that much money. It's usually somewhere between $800 and $1,000 all in for their fees, which is not a lot.
It's about typically 1% of the sales price split between the buyer and seller. But we have in our family an example of someone who needed
we have multiple examples who have used title insurance, but we'll just go with this one.
So our little brother bought his first house. He was very excited about it.
Yep.
And it had a lien on it that he didn't know about. And somebody literally came knocking on his door and was like, you owe me 120 grand. And he was like, no,
that other person, not me.
I didn't do that. That was the last person that owned this house.
Yep. And it did not come up on the title report when the property was pulled for title at time of sale. And so title insurance is insured for issues like this. And he was able to use that to not have to pay the lien on the property.
Yeah. And invariably what happens is the title company goes after the seller for the money that should have been paid by the seller.
Yeah. And the seller should have been responsible for that in the first place. So the great thing about them is that they manage all of the money in the transaction. They hold the funds. They issue all of the settlement reports for both the buyer and the seller. They deal with contractors, for example, who maybe put a new roof on the property prior to closing, and they will issue a check to the contractor who did that. So they'll work with all of the parties involved with the transaction to make sure that the money is allocated for and divvied up the way that it needs to. They take your earnest money, they hold your earnest money and use it to offset any money due for your down payment.
So it's not an interest-bearing account.
No, it is. Yeah. Is not an interest-bearing account.
There's a lot to do with title and escrow, to be completely honest.
It really is. And they do a ton for the transaction. And we work with all different companies around town. A couple of them are Chicago Title, First American Title, Typort Title, Lawyers Title, Fidelity Title. There's tons of them. We have rapport with a bunch of agents around town and always work with them in each transaction. So
the only other thing I can think of that you should know about title and escrow, let's see. There's a million things to know about it, but that would be our 101 class. Maybe we'll revisit this. We'll get you at the sophomore level next time.
For sure. So keep the questions coming, guys. We're always here to help in any way we can. We want to be your real estate specialists, and we love it when you reach out to us. So
nice to see you. Enjoy your short week, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.
Take care, guys. Bye.